When a child loses a loved one, it is devastating.
Sure is, but the Highmark Caring Place offers services for these grieving kids, and there's something special coming up. And this is Chick to Chick. All right, we're talking about an organization that is just near and dear to my heart, the Highmark Caring Place. I started working with the Highmark Caring Place like 20 years ago. They have locations all over the state, and I just love this group because what they do is when a child loses a parent or a loved one, they're hurting. Their heart is broken, and the Highmark Caring Place works with these kids to help them with their grief. And I just love that.
Oh, and what I think is really beautiful is that you have to recognize that a child is also living in the environment with a lot of the grief, so they might not be able to get the support at home because those folks are grieving too. So this is such a beautiful place to get the support, have volunteers like you who really lift them up when they are really in a lot of pain, like you said.
And the big thing is the services all free for the families.
That's amazing.
Really important, which brings us to our guest today. Michelle Vargas is with the Highmark Caring Place. Hi, Michelle. Thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Hello. It's so wonderful to be a part of your podcast.
Love having you here. Michelle, tell us about the Caring Place, specifically what you do, and you do have locations all over the state. Where are they?
We absolutely do. So we are in the Harrisburg area, in Lemoyne, Erie, Pennsylvania, and there's 2 sites in the Pittsburgh region. There's one in the downtown Pittsburgh and another one about 20 minutes north. And you two did a beautiful introduction. Absolutely. This is focused peer support for the entire family unit.
You know, Flora, you were talking about how much they have the free services. So Michelle, tell us the services who are available to the children.
Yes. So if there is a child 18 years and younger in your family unit, you will come to our physical buildings for peer support. And I will go into that a little bit more. We also do have services in the schools. So at the Caring Place, if you have a child that's 18 years old and younger, the whole family unit comes to the Caring Place for grief support. As you had said, grief affects the whole family, right? So everyone is grieving, and they're grieving in their own way. But under the umbrella of the foundation, when you come in, the children and their families are greeted by our volunteers. And they then go into age-appropriate rooms and adult rooms. And the volunteers are the ones who are sitting with a grieving adult, listening to them, or just sitting beside them, allowing them to cry. The volunteers are in the children's rooms, maybe playing blocks, maybe painting a mask. And through them being in the building, they begin to work through their grief. Children can say, I pass. We know you can't do that at school, but at the Caring Place, we do have the I pass rule where the kids don't have to talk about the loved one that died in their family at all because they're listening. We know that as adults, the children are listening and learning from other children that are here at the Caring Place.
And it's so neat. I've been there so many times. I love the fact that there is an anger room, because there is anger associated with grief that the kids can go in there and just punch the wall, like to get that out. And so tell us about the different rooms. You talked about the art room, and how do they express themselves with the art and the anger? And then there's a game room. Let's talk about all of that.
Absolutely. So I'll kind of talk to you through a night where they come into the Caring Place. So they come in greeted by a volunteer. Then they come in and we do provide dinner for the families. And during that first hour, the volunteers are reconnecting with the families. They might not have seen them for a week or two. We do our pledge to dismiss everybody to what I had said before, age-appropriate rooms. So depending on the age range of the children that come with the adults, they go to different rooms. and then the adults go to their special room for them. In there, oh my goodness, we have cabinets filled with art supplies, paper, crayons. In the very young room, we have blocks, we have games. So the volunteers are actually the ones who decide or have a good idea of what they're going to do that evening with the children that come in. And you were right, there is an activities room, so they can go in there and play air hockey during that first hour that they're there, eating, playing games, and the expressions room where they can put on punching gloves or a bat. And that is, I'll point out, a one-on-one room, a volunteer and one child at a time. And if it's okay, I will share a story with you, as I am not a clinical staff, so I volunteer at the Caring Place. And a child had said, could I go to, we call it the expressions room? Absolutely. So the two of us went. And I will share that they just leaned up against the wall, sunk down, and sat on the ground. And what I learned of this is this child shared a room with their sibling. So they didn't want to cry in front of their sibling. So this was a space that, again, it was just me as the volunteer and them, that they could cry. So they weren't crying in front of their family, which brings you full circle, right? About the importance of us having a caring place for these families and these children, because the death of a loved one is affecting everybody in the family.
It's amazing. I mean, now I know what you're doing over there, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
It's great.
Talk to us about the volunteers. You say you are a volunteer, and how do people become one if they'd like to be one?
Oh, absolutely. And you see me smiling so big. We wouldn't exist without our volunteers. And I'm smiling too because of Flora. We've known each other for the 20 years. But yes, so we have the volunteers are the ones that are with the children and families. We are not therapy. We are not counseling. We are peer support. So you're amongst your peers, whether that be as a child or an adult. So, yes, you could go to our website and sign up. We will, talk with you and let you know, oh my goodness, volunteers come from so many different stages of life, and old and new, old and young. I was going to say new. And truly, though, new, we always have new volunteers signing up. And we understand, too, sometimes our volunteers need to take a break. And so we have volunteers that come in for the program site, but we also have volunteers out in the community helping us advocate, right? And raise awareness about the Caring Place, because not everybody knows about us, or they don't know about us until they need us.
Yeah, it's very gratifying to work with these kids and to see them come in feeling so sad and then walking out with hope. Mm-hmm. And the butterfly is the logo over at the Highmark Caring Place. Why did you guys pick the butterfly?
Right. Well, the logo is a broken heart with a butterfly flying out of that broken heart. So at the Caring Place, we are not going to mend that broken heart. That heart of yours for that person is going to be broken forever. And we understand that. But like you said, Flora, the butterfly is coming out of the broken heart to give you hope that you'll be able to move on. Your grief won't be as strong. You have hope that it won't hurt so bad. And we at the Caring Place are providing you this space just for that.
It's so beautiful. I love that. Now, you have something special going on. We've been teasing this. Talk to us about the online auction you have coming up.
Yes, we do. Very exciting. It is our first annual. And Flora, again, is a wonderful volunteer. She is on our committee. So we have committee members that, maybe they had a loss and it's just, I can't do what you do. How do you do it every day? But we have then the auction or other opportunities for people to volunteer. So one of the opportunities is to be a committee member as a volunteer for the online auction, which is September 7th through the 14th. We have a lot of exciting items that are going to be auctioned off, a good variety, and this will raise funds for the Caring Place. This will also, too, raise awareness, right, that we exist and for people to know about us.
All right, so tell us about some of the cool items that are on the auction block.
Yes, so there's many sporting events that are on there. Lots of tickets for some reason. That was the hot item. So Hershey Bears, Erie Otters, Pittsburgh Penguins. So, and again, all of our service areas, we are getting donations from coming in for the auction. So that's fun. And I know too, locally, let's do a shout out to the Harrisburg area. We have Duck Donuts.
Yeah.
They are so gracious to donate. We have Jubilee Cake Studio. We have Hershey Country Club. So those are just a few in the local area.
And it's really cool because, as you pointed out, this is an online auction, so I don't need to go anywhere.
You can be in your pajamas.
Right. And the bidding is going to continue, you said, for an entire week. Mm-hmm. So you can go back and look and, and people get into it and they get really excited.
Raising the money.
And it's great because all of this is going to benefit these kids who are grieving. So one more time, Michelle, give us the dates. What's the name of the auction? Give us the dates, and is there a link to go to the auction online?
Yeah, all of the above. So it's going to be September 7th through the 14th. You can go to Bidding for Good, Highmark Caring Place, and it will generate for you. You can also, though, go to the Highmark Caring Place website under events, and the link will be there for you to get to the Bidding for Good, which we are so honored to be part of the Bidding for Good platform for our auction because they help out other charities too. It's a charitable online website.
Yeah. I hope you guys raise a ton of money for this tremendous cause.
It's great. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about the services at the Highmark Caring Place and, of course, about the auction. I'm really excited about it. Mm-hmm. And I hope people bid often and bid high.
Bid big, yes.
Raise a lot of money for the Highmark Caring Place. Thanks, Michelle.
Oh, thank you both so much.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Again, I love that organization.
Well, you've been talking about it for 20 years.
Yes, and I always say the Caring Place cares about kids.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
The most vulnerable time in their life.
Yeah, and the other thing that I really like about it is that kids at schools often have fundraisers to raise money. So again, you've got kids supporting other kids. It's just a win-win for everyone. And again, the services are free. Free.
That's a big one.
Yep.
We appreciate you being with us today. Do us a favor, head over to our YouTube and like and subscribe. And until we are back to chirp about another topic.